Alright, so this is part 2 of my episode 16 breakdown, which contains the highlight of this episode, Sukuna vs Jogo. Now I won't even lie, this fight had me jumping up and down in my room. It had me pondering like, man, what the hell was Mappa on with Cookie this episode? It's like their inner one for all just collectively accumulated to make this masterpiece. Mappa animators are really getting worked to death for, so we gotta give them credit. Shout out to them, honestly, they deserve every single bit of support. Now, I'ma say this with my chest up high and loud. This is literally the best animated fight of the year, no debate. As well as the best representation of my glorious king, my majestic excellence, my beautiful... let me stop playing. Sukuna's evil character is unique, you know? And I believe so because, first of all, he's literally cold and enjoyable. And second of all, he's beguiling and charismatic. I'll let you know after the fight why I said so for the second point. But for now, let's just focus on the fight. Sukuna absolutely destroyed Jogo, bruh. Like, I'm not even trying to sugarcoat or anything in Jogo's defense, but god damn! Can this situation ever be considered as a fight? This was genuinely a worse beating than Toji vs Dagon. So then I'm thinking, if Jogo managed to pull up on the squad, how did Toji not sense him since he felt the strongest according to his instinct? Was Jogo hiding from him? Nah, he'd win. Anyways, like I was saying, my eyes were locked in for every single frame of this encounter. Like bro, look at this. Is this not a depiction of pure insanity and malicious intent? Now personally, I wouldn't be scared of that frame, but I don't know about y'all though. They had Jogo pop in first person shooter mode since he in peep game and locking against Sukuna. And I tell you bro, every single time this man is on my screen, I just know shit's about to go down. Literally. I know the second he heard Gojo being sealed, his ass was rubbing his hands real bad inside Yuji.
What?
Whoa. That's crazy wording. Let me change that. I know the second he heard Gojo being sealed, his ass was rubbing his hands real bad within his domain. He's plotting something because he said everyone in this hole is finished apart from Megumi. And just listen, I know it's Megumi because he was glazing him like crazy in season 1. And you know what's crazy? Jogo was putting all that work in just for Sukuna to casually walk inside a building and then proceed to speed run his ass in less than 5 seconds. And guess what was Jogo's response to that? Nothing, except he got sent through so many buildings and then got his head dragged down like a damn Wii controller. Yo, Pseudo Geto is a manipulator, bro. Like, how are you gonna gaslight your own mans into thinking he could defeat Gojo Satoru and then use him as a football head right after he got whooped? And then you do it again, but this time towards the likes of Sukuna. Brother, what was the difference? This gotta be unfair, bro. They got his ass fighting the 2 strongest characters. Free Jogo, man. Like, imagine you're throwing all your attacks and moves toward this one dude and then instead of him seeing take damage, you see him posing like this? Oh nah bro, you gotta pack it up and call it a day. And just look at this overframe right here, bro. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be 5 nights of Sukunas the way he keeps jump scaring Jogo like that. Jogo fans, y'all should have known. Y'all should have known buying his stocks right after what he did to the squad was only temporary. I mean, they got Sukuna playing football just like how Geto did him, and they grab his head and send him straight down to the depths of hell. Jogo stocks are going down faster than Bitcoin, y'all. It is not looking good. And to disrespect him even more, Sukuna tells him how the moonlight makes him look more like a bitch and he should try harder. Now personally, I am not taking that. And Jogo did not take that because he pulled up on him with this massive fireball. Now we got Kusakabe, Panda and Geto's minions seeing all this chaos and they try to run away, but nah, that's not an option. Sukuna pulls up and says, hold on, where y'all niggas think y'all going? We're playing a minigame. If any of y'all try to make a move until I say so, I'll turn y'all into minicubes. Wait, hold on. Go! You know how menacing you have to be for folks to rather take on a giant honey bun instead of disobeying your orders? Look, look at Panda, bro. He is not built for this. And take in mind, Sukuna did all that just because he was bored. That's my goat for real. And boom, Jogo goes on to drop his massive fireball. I just know there was at least one random dude just wandering in the streets for help and literally burned to death right after this. Look at Sukuna, man. So nice saving people from sudden death. How could you possibly hate him? That's a gentleman right there. So Jogo thinks he managed to hit him, but that's not what happened. Oh yeah, he had to be hit. You say what? Huh? How? Man, you ain't got no holes to be assuming I got hit. And that's when Sukuna impresses me even more. He says open and manages to copy Jogo's curse technique? You're telling me the goat can somehow use more than one curse technique if he chose to? Nah bro, he's different. This is why I love him. You don't see Gojo doing all this because he can't. He's not Sukuna. And so he tells Jogo to fight fire with fire, pun intended. And then we get this amazing sequence of them both manipulating fire. Sukuna got an arrow and Jogo, he got a Pokeball. A Pokeball? That is the size of a Pokeball, bro. How is this any fair? I wish I could tell you one way or another, bro. But you know the outcome of this. Jogo goes on to meet Hanami and Daguni in Afterlife, and they talk about on how Mahito is their only hope to victory since he's like the personification of death. Saying he's death itself and then looking like this, bro. I don't know, man. That's crazy. But then, that's where things get interesting. Now this moment right here, that is my favorite moment of the episode. Jogo says that he did all this because he believed that curses are the true humans, and Sukuna asks him if that's what he felt. Now remember at the start when I said that Sukuna's beguiling and charismatic? From this, we get to learn Sukuna's actual ideology of Jujutsu. He goes on to say that Gojo had potential to possibly reach the heights of Gojo Satoru, but the only thing that was holding him back was his self-inferiority complex ever since he lost to Gojo. That caused him to stunt his own growth, where he should have abandoned everything and do anything to reach the highest of the high. And I believe that's what Sukuna did to reach that unbelievable sinister horror of his. He also tells him to stand proud because he's strong, as he enjoyed fighting him compared to the people that he fought back in the day. And guess what happens? Jogo drops tears of joy. My nigga Sukuna's out there making motivational speeches. He gave Jogo an honorable death, I won't even lie, whilst being burned to death at the same time, but we're gonna ignore that. And that moment alone allowed me to understand Sukuna's character even more. Sukuna finds pleasure in the true essence of battle, always staying vigilant even when facing weaker opponents and praising them. And then when you look at Gojo, he prefers total control and tends to play around. While Sukuna appreciates Jujutsu for what it is, Gojo's interest lies in the power it grants him since he was born the strongest. Sukuna actually shows more respect and objectivity towards Over's strength compared to Gojo, who was angry when Jogo tried to plan against him in earlier episodes. Basically, Sukuna says your greatest enemy is yourself, while Gojo says you weak as f, you should just give up. It's nice to see Sukuna having some kind of justifiable moral instead of being a casual villain, which makes him stand out more. I can't wait to see more of him, as well as his interactions with Uraume. Shit, I'm hungry. I can cook you a honey bun if you want.
Darnell, that's you. boy, look at you, boy, looking like 1968. Plug.
Go ahead on, boy.
Hey, now.
I'm not fooling with you today. I'm not fooling with you now.
Gotta pay my respect to Jogo too. He did his thing. He was just unlucky from the start. Quite sad, isn't it? It is what it is though.